Welcome to the Shadow of History channel. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out more videos like this one. Tennessee, 1902. A trapped miner scrawls a final suffocating goodbye to his beloved family. Found after the Fraterville explosion, his shaking hand recorded a heartbreaking farewell as the air slowly ran out deep underground. Sweden, 1921. A grieving father cradles his infant daughter, who lived for less than a month, having lost his wife just days after childbirth. This somber portrait captures a double tragedy of early 20th century life. Stockholm, 1897. Two men pose for prison mugshots after being convicted of same-sex relations. These clinical images document the historical criminalization of identity and the heavy legal toll once paid for personal private lives. Poland, 1944. Auschwitz guards laugh and relax during a sunny day trip away from the camp. This chilling photograph captures on the banality of evil, showing the human faces of those who facilitated unimaginable horrors. Dachau, 1945. An American soldier looks away as liberated prisoners prepare to execute a brutal SS guard. This raw image captures the immediate violent pursuit of justice by those who survived years of systematic terror. Northern Ireland, 1970. A lone soldier approaches a suspicious package on a deserted street. This tense image reflects the daily dangers of the Troubles, where hidden explosives became a constant threat to life and peace. Chicago, 2026. Thousands of dog tags hang in a shimmering, somber curtain at the Harold Washington Library. Each tag represents an American life lost in Vietnam, creating a visual and audible monument to sacrifice. New York, 2001. A golden retriever. Search dog named Riley is carefully transported across the debris of Ground Zero. His tireless efforts in the wreckage symbolize the hope and resilience of the rescue teams. Amazon jungle, 1971. 17-year-old Julianne Koepke survived a 2-mile fall after her plane disintegrated, mid-air, strapped to her seat. She spent 10 grueling days trekking through the rainforest to reach safety and rescue. London, 1900. An early X-ray operator displays a hand severely damaged by repeated radiation exposure. This haunting image serves as a stark reminder of the hidden dangers faced by pioneers of modern medical technology. Colorado, 1939. Joe Aridi, a man with a child's intellect, gives away his toy trains before his execution, wrongfully accused his final request for ice cream. Highlights the profound tragedy of his unjust death. Moscow, 1966. A Red Army veteran stands tall during the anniversary of the Great Patriotic War. His medals and weary gaze tell a story of immense national sacrifice and the personal cost of victory. Newark, 1960. Families showcase vibrant style and fashion during a period of significant cultural growth. These images celebrate the elegance and community spirit of Black Newark through decades of social and political change. New York, 2019. A couple who met at Woodstock in 1969 celebrates 50 years together. Their enduring love began in a muddy field during a legendary festival, proving that true connections can last lifetimes. Mexico, 1930. Director Sergei Eisenstein poses dramatically beside a towering desert cactus. His travels through Mexico inspired a unique cinematic vision, capturing the raw beauty and complex history of the land and people. Japan, 1985. The dashboard of the Nissan 300ZX glows with futuristic digital gauges and glowing indicators. This high-tech interior epitomized the cutting-edge automotive design and electronic obsession of the mid-1980s era. North Dakota, 1937. A young farm boy draws water from a repurposed milk can. This simple image illustrates the resourceful ingenuity of rural families struggling to survive the harsh realities of the Dust Bowl. New Mexico, 1940. A family gathers for dinner inside their dugout home carved directly into the earth. These humble shelters provided protection from the elements for homesteaders seeking a new life in Pie Town. Papua New Guinea, 1961. Michael Rockefeller vanished while studying the Asmat people. Years later, a mysterious photograph of a white man among the tribe sparked endless theories about his fate in the remote jungle. Hawaii, 1948. Fishermen cast their nets into the glowing waters during a tranquil evening. This serene scene captures the traditional coastal life of the islands before the onset of massive modern commercial tourism. Moscow, 1988. Residents line up at the first American pizza truck in Red Square. This small slice of fast food symbolized the beginning of the end for the Cold War's cultural divide. Hollywood, 1960. Technicians use intricate models and forced perspective to create cinematic worlds before digital tools. These practical effects relied on clever engineering and artistic trickery to transport audiences to distant lands. Eniwetok Atoll, 1944. Marine Theodore Miller displays the hollow haunted gaze known as the 1,000-yard stare. This powerful image captures the psychological toll of brutal island combat just weeks before his death. Newcastle, 1972. Before finding fame as Mr. Bean Rowan Atkinson studied electrical engineering at university. His academic background in technical science provided a sharp contrast to the silent physical comedy that made him famous. USA, 1954. Richard Sargent's painting Anger Transference humorously depicts a chain of frustration. This relatable mid-century artwork illustrates how a bad day at the office can ripple through an entire household in seconds. Tunisia, 1977. Mirrors attached to the sides of V. Luke Skywalker's land speeder hide its wheels from the camera. This low-tech trick created the convincing illusion of a hovering vehicle in the original Star Wars. France, 2026. Over a century after the Great War, the landscape remains scarred by deep trenches and craters. These quiet fields serve as a living monument to the millions who fought and died. Alaska, 1909. An Ailet hunter wears a traditional gut parka and a protective visor beyond shielding his eyes. The visor's unique shape was believed to sharpen his hearing while tracking prey at sea. Regensburg, 1380. A medieval door features a funnel-shaped guide around the keyhole. This clever design helped homeowners find the lock in total darkness or after a long night of drinking at the local tavern. Venice, 1989. Over. 200,000 fans gather as Pink Floyd performs on a massive floating stage. The sheer scale of the event caused a political crisis, leading to the city's government resigning. California, 1948. The Northrop YB-49 flying wing bomber soars through the clouds. This radical jet-powered design was decades ahead of its time, paving the way for the stealth technology of the modern era. Leningrad, 1931. A massive Atlantean statue stands guard at the entrance of the Hermitage. This powerful Soviet-era photograph captures the grand scale and enduring strength of the city's neoclassical architecture and cultural history. New York, 1927. The cramped cockpit of the Spirit of St. Louis lacks a front window to see forward. Charles Lindbergh relied on a small periscope, prioritizing fuel capacity for his historic solo flight. Washington, 1980. A hiker watches in awe as Mount St. Helens erupts 37 miles away. This breathtaking photograph captures the exact second the mountain collapsed, sending a massive plume of ash into the sky. California, 1947. A cyclist demonstrates the incredible lightness of an aluminum trailer by towing it behind his bike. This promotional stunt highlighted the innovative aerodynamic design that would make Airstream an American icon. New York, 1931. An aerial view reveals the city's rapidly rising skyline during the height of the skyscraper boom. This perspective captures a metropolis in transition, building upward to become a global financial capital. Los Angeles, 1948. The Motormat Drive-In uses a rail system to deliver food. And directly to parked cars, this innovative design eliminated the need for servers on skates, streamlining the classic American dining experience. Antarctica, 1910. Explorers pose near their camp during the ill-fated Terra Nova expedition. This colorized image offers a vivid connection to the men who vanished in the ice during their desperate journey home. Atlantic Ocean, 1912. A lone lifeboat from the Titanic drifts toward the rescue ship Carpathia. This haunting image captures the quiet aftermath of the disaster and the few who survived the freezing waters. New Jersey, 1910. Thomas Edison stands beside an early electric car powered by his long-range battery. This pioneering vehicle could travel 100 miles on a single charge, competing directly with gasoline engines. Houston, 1970 downtown is a sea of vast flat parking lots where grand buildings once stood. This aerial view documents the era of urban renewal that prioritized the automobile over traditional city architecture. Moscow, 1988. Arnold Schwarzenegger greets a massive crowd during a historic visit to the Soviet Union. His presence signaled a warming of cultural relations as the Cold War began its final chapter. France, 1950. A local man displays a look of pure surprise while tasting Coca-Cola. For the first time, this candid moment captures the aggressive global expansion of American consumer culture after the war. London, 1920. The massive mechanical gears inside the Big Ben clock tower are meticulously maintained. This rare interior view reveals the Victorian engineering that has kept the city's most famous bell ringing. Vietnam, 1966. Massive craters from BA-52 strikes pockmark the lush green rice fields. These permanent scars on the landscape serve as a grim reminder of the overwhelming aerial bombardment during the long conflict. New York, 2001. A heartbreaking voicemail from a passenger on Flight 175 captures his final words to his wife. Recorded minutes before impact, it remains a powerful testament to love in the face of tragedy. Sweden, 1959, engineer Niels Bohlin perfects the three-point seat belt for Volvo by combining lap and shoulder straps. His invention became the single most effective safety device in automotive history, saving millions of lives. London, 1940. Sir Adrian Carton de Wyatt reflects on a career of improbable survival, despite losing. He's an eye and a hand in surviving multiple plane crashes. The legendary officer never lost his fighting spirit. Winganon, 1959. A wrecked concrete mixer was left abandoned after its drum proved too heavy to haul. Years later, local residents repainted the massive steel remains to resemble a NASA space capsule in the grass. New York, 1929. A lonely custodian sweeps the floors of the stock exchange after the historic Wall Street crash. The empty hall reflects the sudden silence and financial ruin that gripped the American nation overnight. USA 1957. A clever early television remote allows viewers to change channels from the comfort of their armchair. This innovative device represented a luxury leap forward, beginning the era of modern convenient home entertainment technology. Moscow 1586. The massive bronze Tsar cannon stands as a testament to imperial engineering, weighing 39 tons. It was designed to launch massive stone balls, though it was never actually fired in a real battle. Washington, 1963. President John F. Kennedy admires the Halloween costumes of his young children, Caroline and John Jr., taken weeks before his death. This poignant image captures a rare, tender moment of quiet family joy. Alaska, 1910. The steamship Princess may sits perched precariously atop a rocky reef after running aground this dramatic. Image remains one of the most famous shipwreck photographs in history, showcasing the vessel high above water. San Francisco, 1907. The iconic Cliff House stands proudly overlooking the Pacific just before a fire consumed the structure. This rare photograph preserves the grand Victorian architecture of a landmark that defined the city's coast. New York, 1969. Engineers divert the flow of the Niagara River, leaving the American Falls completely dry. This temporary measure allowed researchers to study the rock face and erosion patterns of the world's most famous waterfall. Melbourne, 1964. Temporary drummer Jimmy Nicole sits alone at an airport after filling in for Ringo Starr. Having tasted global superstardom for 10 days, he prepares to return to a life of quiet anonymity. Memphis, 1977. Elvis Presley received thousands of doses of narcotics and sedatives in the months before his death. This staggering medical record highlights the tragic pharmaceutical addiction that haunted the king of rock and roll. Canada, 1973. The Terex Titan rock truck dominates the landscape with its massive 67-foot frame driven by a locomotive engine. This industrial giant remained the world's largest land vehicle for over 25 incredible years. The Hague, 1873. A 19-year-old Vincent van Gogh poses for his only verified photograph while working at a gallery. This rare image offers a glimpse of the legendary artist before the onset of his turmoil. San Francisco, 1936. A massive safety net hangs beneath the unfinished Golden Gate Bridge. This innovative measure saved 19 workers from fatal falls, earning them membership in the prestigious and lucky Halfway to Hell Club. USSR, 1963. Yuri Gagarin and Valentina Tereshkova, the first humans in space, share a lighthearted moment. This candid photograph of the two cosmonauts reflects the camaraderie and humor behind the high-stakes Soviet space program. London, 1977. Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill posed together to recreate their iconic movie poster. This playful shot captures the young stars at the dawn of a franchise that changed cinema forever. Europe, 1943. Boeing B-17 flying fortresses fly in tight formation through heavy anti-aircraft fire. These legendary bombers were the backbone of the Allied air campaign, enduring brutal conditions to strike deep into enemy territory. New York, 1978. Glowing neon signs in classic theaters define the gritty energy of Times Square. This photograph captures the district during its famous period of urban decay just before the massive modern redevelopment. London, 1969. Jimi Hendrix poses for a portrait exuding the effortless style and cosmic energy of the psychedelic era. Dominique Tarlet's lens captures the legendary guitarist at the absolute peak of his creative influence. France, 1916. General Robert Nivelle stands as the commander-in-chief during the heat of the Great War. Known for his aggressive tactics, his controversial leadership shaped the bloody battles of the Western Front before his replacement. USSR, 1961. Yuri Gagarin beams with the confidence of the first human to orbit the Earth. His historic flight made him an international hero and a permanent symbol of humanity's bold leap into space. Hollywood, 1962. A curious crow lights a cigarette for actress Tippi Hedren on the set of The Birds. This surreal behind-the-scenes moment captures the dark avian-themed tension of Alfred Hitchcock's classic psychological thriller. Hungary, 1931. A young gypsy boy cradles his cello with a look of deep concentration. Eva Besnio's photography captures the soulful connection between the child and his music amidst the rural landscapes of Europe. Damascus, 1889. A blind man carries his paraplegic friend through the city streets. This extraordinary image of mutual support and friendship demonstrates how two individuals combine their strengths to navigate a challenging world together. Netherlands, 1944. A paratrooper from the 101st Airborne tumbles across a field after a combat landing. This candid shot from Operation Market Garden captures the chaotic reality of airborne soldiers dropped behind enemy lines. USA, 1909. Santa Claus glides across the snow in a sled pulled by a team of white turkeys. This unusual vintage holiday scene reflects the eclectic and whimsical folk traditions of early 20th century American Christmas celebrations. Pacific, 1945. Judy, a brave Navy dog, wears her Dickin medal after surviving years as a prisoner of war. She provided comfort and protection to her fellow captives, proving her incredible loyalty and spirit. Russia, 1943. A shell-shocked reindeer stares blankly as bombs drop from the sky. Yevgeny Khaldei's powerful image captures the tragic impact of man-made warfare on the innocent and majestic creatures of the natural world. London, 1954. A royal messenger departs Buckingham Palace on a motorcycle to deliver urgent dispatches. This image captures the traditional urgency and specialized roles required to maintain communication for the British Foreign Office. SA 1920 thrill seekers enjoy a precarious ride on a vintage wooden roller coaster. This early era of amusement parks was defined by hand-built attractions that prioritized high-speed excitement and daring engineering feats. Paris, 1911. An empty space in the wall of the Louvre marks the spot where the Mona Lisa was stolen. The daring heist turned the portrait into a global icon and sparked an international search. Lost Angeles, 1938. Cars travel along the scenic Roosevelt Highway as it hugs the California coastline. This early view of the Pacific Coast Highway reflects the beauty and growing car culture of the Golden State. Virginia, 1864. The double-turreted monitor USS Onondaga patrols the James River during the Civil War. This ironclad warship represented the cutting edge of naval technology designed to provide heavy firepower in shallow waters. Virginia, 1864. The steam locomotive Firefly sits atop a high wooden trestle during the Civil War. This image highlights the critical and dangerous role the railroad played in transporting troops and supplies through battle zones. Egypt, 1864. Samurai members of a Japanese diplomatic mission pose before the Great Sphinx. This rare meeting of cultures captures the moment traditional Japan began engaging with the wider world during the 19th century. Harlem, 1963. A young Stevie Wonder shares a laugh with Muhammad Ali at the Apollo Theater. This historic encounter brings together two future legends of music and sport during a pivotal moment in culture. London, 1969. The Queen Mother and Princess Margaret attend the formal investiture of Prince Charles. This grand royal ceremony at Carnarvon Castle marked his official beginning as the Prince of Wales before the nation. USA, 1983. Men confidently wear mesh crop tops and bold fashions in a gym. This vibrant image reflects the unique experimental aesthetic of 80s fitness culture, where gender-bending styles were common in mainstream athletic wear. USA 1949 members of the Anti-Long Skirt Association trim the hem of a classmate's dress. This playful high school rivalry captures the shifting fashion trends and the youthful rebellion against traditional conservative clothing styles. Los Angeles, 1961. Richard Nixon stands on his roof with a garden hose to protect his home from a wildfire. This candid shot reveals the future president facing a personal crisis during a disaster. Florida, 1966. Neil Armstrong poses in his pressurized spacesuit during training for the Gemini missions. His calm demeanor and technical preparation were essential steps on his journey to becoming the first man. Iowa, 1940. Children stand outside their makeshift homes in a riverside shack town. This poignant image from the Great Depression documents the difficult living conditions of families displaced by the nation's profound economic collapse. 1869. Customers relax in leather chairs while barbers perform traditional shaves and haircuts. This rare interior view captures the social atmosphere and meticulous grooming standards of a 19th century American neighborhood barbershop. Chicago, 1928. A telephone operator speaks into a headset, announcing the correct time. Every 15 seconds, this human-powered service provided a vital synchronization for the city, long before the era of digital clocks. Earth 10 million BC ancient turtles grew to massive proportions, possessing powerful jaws capable of a lethal bite. These prehistoric giants roamed the wetlands, dominating their environment as one of nature's most formidable armored predators. London, 1933. Three friends pose for a formal portrait, capturing the sophisticated style of the pre-war era. Their sharp suits and composed expressions reflect the social elegance and traditional grooming of the early 30s. USA, 1924. A young boy proudly navigates his neighborhood in a metal pedal car. This vintage toy represents the childhood dreams of the early automotive age, mimicking the real vehicles seen on American roads. West Virginia, 1938. An out-of-work coal miner and his family stand outside their humble home. This stark portrait captures the quiet dignity and struggle of those living through the economic hardships of Appalachia. USA, 1888. Proud parents pose with their rare quadruplets in a formal studio setting in an era of high infant mortality. The survival of 4 identical babies was considered a remarkable and celebrated blessing. Vietnam, 1968. An American soldier tucks photographs of his girlfriend into the band of his helmet. This personal ritual provided a vital emotional connection to home during the intense combat near Cu Chi. Persia, 1890, a Qajar princess poses in traditional court attire, embodying the era's unique standards of beauty. Her heavy jewelry and distinctive style reflect the rich cultural heritage and aesthetic values of the period. France, 1950. A local man reacts with visible surprise and curiosity after tasting his very first Coca-Cola. This candid moment illustrates the global arrival of American consumer goods following the Second World War. Germany, 1928 engineers construct a massive 9,000 horsepower spiral turbine for a Norwegian power plant. This industrial marvel demonstrates the incredible scale of early 20th century mechanical engineering and international cooperation in energy. Idaho, 1891. Workmen labor in the dirt to lay a massive wooden water pipeline. These hollowed logs served as the vital arteries for a growing frontier, showcasing the rugged ingenuity of early American engineering. Prague, 1920. Scholars examine the giant manuscripts of Prague Castle, their scale dwarfing the human hand. These hand-inked treasures preserved centuries of history, bound in heavy leather to protect the sacred knowledge within. Norway, 1900 AEA. Wedding party gathers for a formal portrait, their faces etched with stoic tradition wrapped in wool and lace. The group captures a fleeting moment of joy in the cold Nordic landscape. Japan, 1945. Australian prisoners of war savor their first cup of coffee after years of brutal captivity. The simple warmth of the brew signals the end of suffering and their long-awaited journey home. South Africa, 1885. An aerial tram carries miners over the gaping maw of the Kimberley Diamond Mine, suspended by thin cables. These workers risked everything to extract glittering fortunes from the deep volcanic earth. Italy, 1940. Desperate families offer their children for sale as poverty and hunger ravage the nation. This haunting scene reflects the silent, agonizing toll that war and economic collapse take on the most vulnerable. 1925. A gentleman tips his polished hat to a group of ladies on a sunlit street. This small, graceful gesture defines the social etiquette of the Roaring Twenties, where manners remained strictly choreographed. London, 1875-2. Victorian chaps pose for a tintype photograph while proudly displaying their bare feet. This eccentric break from stiff social norms offers a rare, humorous glimpse into the private lives of gentlemen. Gosset, 1975. Children climb across a sprawling playground made of heavy timber and rusted metal. This era of play was defined by freedom and risk long before the arrival of modern safety regulations and plastic. Berlin, 1927. Newspaper sellers perched on seat sticks wait for the morning rush these portable stools allowed. Vendors to rest their legs while keeping a watchful eye on the bustling crowds of the Republic. Dublin, 1940. A view from Cumberland Street reveals the stark reality of the city's crumbling slums. Paul Popper's lens captures the grit of urban poverty, where families persevered amidst decaying brick and narrow alleys. North America, 1908. Edward Curtis captures the profound dignity of Native Americans in a changing world. His photography sought to preserve the spirit of a people whose traditional way of life faced mounting external pressure. California, 1958. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz share a quiet moment outside their bustling production studio. As the king and queen of television, they built an empire that revolutionized how the world viewed comedy. France, 1917. 16-year-old Walt Disney smiles while serving with the Red Cross during the Great War, long before the mouse. This young man was already driven by a sense of duty and imagination. California, 1991. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates sit for a candid chat about the future of personal computing. These two titans of industry shape the digital landscape, debating the visions that would eventually change. Paris, 1930 painters cling to the iron lattice of the Eiffel Tower, suspended hundreds of feet above the city. Without modern harnesses, they applied fresh coats of lead paint to protect the French national icon. Hong Kong, 1972. Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee prepare for their legendary showdown on the silver screen. This meeting of martial arts masters remains a definitive moment in cinema history, a blending raw power with speed. The Moon, 1972 astronaut Charles Duke leaves a plastic-wrapped family photo on the lunar surface. During Apollo 16, it remains there today, a silent, fading testament to human connection across the vast reaches of space. England, 1890. A hunter aims a massive punt gun capable of firing a pound of shot. This devastating weapon could clear 50 birds in a single blast, serving the commercial markets of the Victorian era. Japan, 1870. Samurai warriors stand in their traditional armor during the final years of the feudal era. As the nation modernized, these elite swordsmen transitioned from battlefield legends to symbols of a vanishing past. USS Oregon, 1917 sailors gather around a makeshift ring for a boxing match on the ship's deck. These bouts, he provided essential morale and a physical outlet for men serving during the height of wartime. Chicago, 1956-3. Smiling winners celebrate their victory at a local beauty contest. Their styled hair and elegant gowns reflect the mid-century obsession with glamour and the idealized standards of the American dream. London, 1935. Burmese women walk through the city streets, their traditional attire drawing curious glances from passers-by. This cultural intersection highlights the global reach of the British Empire during the interwar years of history. USA, 1922. A female police officer uses a measuring tape to inspect a woman's bathing suit on a public beach. During this era, strict modesty laws dictated exactly how much skin could be shown. Houston, 1966. Muhammad Ali stands over a fallen Cleveland Williams at the Astrodome. The overhead camera captured this iconic image of dominance, showcasing the speed and precision that made Ali the greatest of all. Florida, 1986. Engineer Roger Boyce Joly warns his wife that the Challenger will explode just moments before liftoff. Despite his desperate pleas regarding a design flaw, his concerns were ignored, leading to a national tragedy. Illinois, 1964, a young Gary Sinise beams with joy as he receives his very first guitar in 4th grade. This simple instrument sparked a lifelong passion for music and performing that predated his acting. New York, 1976. The view from the 107th floor of the North Tower reveals the city sprawling below this perspective. From the World Trade Center captured the immense scale of Manhattan's rising steel skyline. Miami, 1946, Al Capone relaxes at home with his wife May and their 3 grandchildren after years of infamy. The former mob boss spent his final days in quiet seclusion under the Florida sun. London, 1927. A woman stands in the doorway of a compact RV camper at a modern exhibition. This early mobile home promised the freedom of the open road, blending domestic comfort with adventure. Rome, 1973. Artist Lino Chanel showcases his surreal sculptured kitchen, a masterpiece of avant-garde design photographed by Carla De Benedetti. The room blurs the line between functional living space and high-concept modern art. New Jersey, 1956. An illustrator depicts the future of phones, imagining a world of handheld wireless communication. This visionary concept predicted the mobile revolution decades before the technology actually existed in the palm. Michigan, 1915. Lumberjacks use a horse-drawn big wheel to haul massive logs through the dense forest. This towering wooden contraption allowed the crew to move heavy timber over the uneven pine-scented floor with efficiency. New England, 1932. A rustic hunting cabin sits nestled among the pines, shrouded in autumn mist. Its weathered wood and creaky porch offered a serene retreat from the world during the Great Depression era. Kansas, 1890. The Meade family poses before their sod dugout home on the rolling plains cut directly from the earth. This humble shelter protected the resilient homesteaders from the scorching heat and bitter winters. California, 1956. Frank Sinatra and Grace Kelly share a laugh between takes on the set of High Society. The two stars exuded effortless elegance, defining the golden age of Hollywood glamour and charisma. Tasmania, 1930. A family of thylacines paces behind the bars of their enclosure known as Tasmanian tigers. These unique marsupials were driven to extinction, with the very last individual dying in captivity in 1936. New York, 1962. A young Muhammad Ali strikes a confident pose early in his legendary career. Even then, his charisma and athletic prowess suggested he would become a figure who transcended the sport of boxing. Atlantic Ocean, 1912. The Titanic glides through the calm water in the last photo taken before its tragic sinking. This haunting image captures the majestic vessel just hours before it struck a deadly iceberg. Georgia, 1864. People gather at a slave market during the final years of the American Civil War. This somber image serves as a brutal reminder of the human cost of the institution of slavery. New York, 1930 artists illustrate a vision of the future featuring soaring skyscrapers and winged commuter vehicles. This Art Deco dream reflected the boundless optimism and technological ambition of the early 20th century world. Germany, 1932. An early magnetic tape recorder sits on a laboratory bench, a marvel of sound technology. This invention revolutionized how we capture audio, paving the way for the modern era of mass media. New York, 1956 technicians load a 5-megabyte IBM hard disk into an airplane weighing over 1,000 kilograms. This massive piece of machinery represented the cutting edge of data storage in the mid-50s. USA, 1922. Children sit inside a mailbag for a photograph after the government banned sending babies by post. This bizarre legal loophole briefly allowed parents to ship their infants across the country. California, 1974. Families gather at a local McDonald's, enjoying the simple ritual of fast food. The iconic golden arches were becoming a staple of American culture, symbolizing a new era of convenience and speed. Detroit, 1961. The Buick Flamingo debuts with a unique rotating front seat designed for easy entry. This experimental feature highlighted the era's obsession with space-age luxury and innovative, though often impractical, automotive design. Wisconsin, 1914. William Harley and Arthur Davidson stand beside their latest motorcycle creation, starting in a small shed. These two pioneers built a brand that would become a global symbol of American industrial power. Sweden, 1970. A young Osama bin Laden poses for a family vacation photo while visiting Europe. This mundane moment of domestic travel stands in stark contrast to the global infamy he would later achieve. California, 1956. An IBM hard drive is carefully hoisted for shipment, holding a mere 5 megabytes of data. The sheer size of the unit illustrates the incredible evolution of technology over the last century. Atlantic Ocean, 1912. The Titanic disappears into the horizon in its final photograph. This image remains a chilling testament to the unsinkable ship's final journey before it was lost to the deep, dark sea. Boston, 1975. A fire escape collapses on Marlborough Street, sending a mother and child plunging toward the ground. Stanley Foreman's harrowing photograph captured this life-and-death struggle, forever changing fire safety laws across America. Dutch New Guinea, 1913. Explorers stand triumphantly upon the icy summit of Eclectic. During its first ascent, this massive ice cap, a frozen relic of the deep past, completely melted away by 1962. Italy, 1904. 4 generations of Italian royalty gather for a formal portrait from the young Prince of Piedmont to his great-grandmother. This image captures the enduring lineage of a monarchy facing a changing century. Georgia, 1942. Frank Perconti and Carwood Lipton rest with easy company during a grueling 100-mile march before the battlefields of Europe. These paratroopers forged their legendary bond in the red clay of Toccoa. Recife, 1860. A free black woman gazes into the lens of Augusto Stahl with quiet, unshakable dignity. This portrait serves as a powerful testament to personal identity and strength in 19th century Imperial Brazil. Avaz, 1970. Iranian schoolchildren gather to receive a free government-distributed lunch in their classroom. This social initiative reflects a period of modernization and investment in the health and future of the nation's youth. Alabama, 1961. John Lewis and Jim Zwerg sit battered and bloodied after a violent attack in Montgomery. Their courage as freedom riders during the civil rights movement exposed the brutal reality of racial segregation. Mexico, 1919. A young Frida Kahlo poses for a portrait taken by her father Guillermo at just 12 years old. Her intense gaze hints at the profound artistic spirit that would later captivate the world. Germany, 1944. Soldiers of the 102nd Division share a makeshift Thanksgiving dinner inside a bombed-out house amidst the ruins of Geilenkirchen. These GIS found a brief moment of gratitude and brotherhood during war. Chartres, 1944. General Charles de Gaulle addresses a jubilant crowd from the City Hall following its liberation. His presence signaled the restoration of French sovereignty as Allied forces pushed toward the heart of Paris. Japan, 1945. General MacArthur steps off a C-54 transport plane onto Atsugi Airfield for his first look at a surrendered nation. This arrival marked the beginning of the Allied occupation and Japan's reconstruction. Germany, 1945. Willie the Loyal Bull Terrier of General George Patton sits mournfully among his master's packed belongings. The dog's silent vigil captures the personal loss following the death of the legendary military commander. Boston, 1874. George Wright, the star shortstop of the Red Stockings, strikes a classic pose for a studio portrait as a pioneer of professional baseball. Wright helped transform the game into America's favorite pastime. France, 1917. Legendary ace Georges Guinemer stands before his Spad fighter nicknamed Old Charles with 54 aerial victories. He became a symbol of French courage and tragedy during the dogfights of the Great War. Georgia 1907. A Kevsur Highlander stands in Tiflis province wearing traditional chainmail and military attire. This striking image preserves the ancient warrior culture of the Caucasus Mountains during the final years of the empire. Durham, 1971. Civil rights activist Ann Atwater works alongside Klansman C.P. Ellis, over 10 days, their unlikely partnership transformed hatred into friendship, leading Ellis to renounce the Klan and fight for racial equality forever. San Francisco, 2005. Sony launches 250,000 colorful bouncy balls down a steep city hill, eschewing digital effects. This practical stunt created a mesmerizing visual symphony for a television commercial that remains a creative landmark. Italy, 1445. A curious cat walks across a wet manuscript, leaving permanent ink paw prints behind. This medieval accident offers a charming, tangible connection to the past, proving that feline curiosity is truly timeless. Berlin, 1961. Hans Conrad Schumann leaps over barbed wire to escape the Soviet sector. This iconic photograph captured the desperation of a divided city just days before the permanent wall sealed the border shut. Wales, 2021. Carlos Fresco pushes his dying Labradoodle Monty up a mountain in a wheelbarrow. This final journey to the summit of Pen y Fan serves as a heartbreaking tribute to an unbreakable bond. New York, 1998. A young Lady Gaga is photographed long before her rise to global stardom. This early portrait captures the raw ambition and unique presence of the artist before she reinvented modern pop. Mongolia, 2024. A member of the Tesayatan tribe stands with a reindeer in the snowy taiga. As nomadic herders, they maintain a spiritual connection to the land, preserving a vanishing way of life. Southern India, 1920. A bishop from the ancient Kananaya community poses for a formal portrait. This ethnic group traces its lineage back centuries, maintaining unique Syriac Christian traditions within the diverse Indian landscape. Los Angeles, 1991. Angelica Houston and Raul Julia radiate Gothic elegance on the set of The Addams Family. Their chemistry brought Morticia and Gomez to life, defining the characters for a new generation.